So, hey, Sam, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, market gap again, gapped up this morning. It went flat for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and now it's drifting back down right to the 8 and the 15 on the daily chart. So, just waiting to see if we find support or if we break down. We don't know. Again, I'm in NVIDIA long right here, which going against me. I had SPY puts earlier for a nice $60 contract profit. And I'm in NVIDIA, and I'm down pretty decent on that one right now. I do like the Sophie weekly ATM that Maxim took today. I like that one. The Sophie weekly ATM. Is CAT a PBO? Ramkumar? Yeah, it is. It's got to hold the 8, but it's a PBO. In rotation fashion, I have IWM now relative strength heading to the VWAP. Yeah, this is kind of been playing out for a while. IWM bouncing up. Triple Q's drifting down. SPY just drifting as well. Again, I'm in NVIDIA. And I'm going to take the Sophie. I'm going to take the Sophie weekly ATM. Whoops. That Maxim called out. That Sophie ATM. I'm not going to alert on it, but I will put it in here in case anybody wants to follow me on it. Because I'm following Maxim on this. It's the Sophie weekly ATM. Okay, so you're selling the November 14th. Let's see what I did. The $30 puts, I think. Yeah, so the November 14th $30 puts. And I bought the December 19th. Yeah, December 19th. Oops, let's put December 27 puts. 27 puts. We get $3 spread on this thing. And I did it for 36 cents. All right, so basically I've got a $336 risk on the trade. The premiums are pretty good. The $30 premium, I collected when I sold the $30 put for this Friday. I got a dollar for it. I got $1 for it, and I bought the December's for $1.36. So anyway, you should get it for be about 36 cents, maybe 35 cents. But I like it, and you could go all the way to 40 cents on the thing. So you can put for 36 to 40. Okay, so this is weekly ATM. Again, we've still got one going on here with Schwab, and now I put this one on there. I like these. I think the market's gonna kind of tread water during Thanksgiving week, and this is a way to collect some premium while that's going on. I'm also looking for some put credit spreads, but I really can't find too many of them right now. Okay, that's the Sophie trade. Thanks, Maximo. I appreciate that. Very good look on that Sophie. Very good look. Market closed tomorrow, Veterans Day? I don't think so. As far as I know, the market's open tomorrow. Yeah, they're open tomorrow. I think the banks are closed, but I'm not sure. SPY's just moving sideways here. NVIDIA position, trying to get back up above the 8. Very flat here right now. Very flat market. Not going to jump into much else. I like the Sophie again. It's they're not actually non-directional trades, but they work whether the stock moves sideways, flat. It could even go down a little bit, and you still do okay. But I like that one. I have to thank Maxim for that. I appreciate that. A beautiful look on that Sophie.
On RHP, Ryman Hospitality, seen a Form 4 insider purchase. Executive Chairman purchasing 89 and 93 at 92 spot 162 for a total of $828,000. That's on RHP.
Most of the stocks have all pulled back after this gap up this morning. We'll just kind of find out where we're going to find support. Eight's pretty flat here now on the SPY. Just got the 15 slightly below with the VWAP above. I mean the 15 slightly above. Same thing on NVIDIA. The NVIDIA is the 8's flattening out a little bit too. Just watching here. NVIDIA getting some market internals. I mean the current time frame momentum starting to turn up a little bit, as you can see here. Just barely get above the 20 level. Schwab trading at 94.98, perfect right on the strike price. SMR really not doing well today at all. It is trying to bounce a little bit. I'm just going to watch it for a while. It's too soon for me to make any kind of decisions on. You can't really take off the long calls because they're just not worth anything. So we'll just give this thing some time. See if we get a market bounce this week. Watching GLW, we're also trying to bounce a little bit here. And Lumen still holding below that 1132 level, but still like it long. Tesla trading at 445. Again, I got through the 447, failed. This is why I don't like trading Tesla right now. It's just too many failures at that 447 level. Looked good, it got above it, and then it just pulled right back. And here, it just moved right up to it, and it just pulled right back again. With the market, basically. Okay, hey Matt. Didn't catch what you did on SMR trade and the one option. I didn't do anything with SMR right now. What I did was I let the calls, the short calls that we sold, the 35s. I should let them expire Friday, and now I'm just going to wait and see what will happen. I'm basically just riding the $35 calls and see if we get a bounce this week, or if it moves down 4, I may take some puts on it. But right now it's just sitting there with my long calls, and I collected the premium on the short calls, so I took all the profits I could in that, and now I just need to get the stock to bounce. Yep. Yeah, I have my own room, Matt, the SPY Super System option room here, and an alert service on. Just go to rightlinetrading.com and you can become a member of the room or the alert service. You can also buy the software, which, by the way, this software is extremely useful in identifying trades and keeping you out of trades. Very important, knowing what the institutions are doing. SPY bouncing up here right now, coming above the 8, coming above 15. Still bearish on the current time frame, but notice it's getting ready to flip to blue here.
A tweet out there being circulated from Jeffrey Gulak says Renova's main borrowing entity filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy last week, listing liabilities of between $100 million and $500 million and assets of under $50,000. And a major firm in private credit land had its position marked at 100 just a few weeks ago. Jeffrey Gulak replies with, "Yup." That's a comment out by Gulak.
SPY with a little bounce. Close up above the 8 and the 15 here. 8's trying to move up through the 15. Is your next resistance level right up there, around 677.50 or 677.60. That's the next resistance level on the SPY would be the VWAP. Kind of important to see if we get through there or not. NVIDIA following suit as well. About 12 o'clock.
On
Not fun, lunchtime.
SNES and STEX Evolve Rat Birth Control now available online at Lowe's. On SOND Sonder to complete immediate wind down of operations. SOND.
Oh. Jesus.
Hi, Fatty.
Concentrating over here. Huh. You're all done?
I'm
With your-
done.
All done for the day. No good luck? Well, it didn't really matter. You don't care. You're just
Yeah.
calling the stores.
Yeah.
I mean, did they respond and try to fix it?
They just say, okay, I'll check it out, and then they don't. I think
You used to wait for them, remember?
Yeah.
Forget
Who
that.
cares?
Those days are gone.
I tell you, like that. You know, until someone starts getting on the managers to respond, nothing's gonna happen. You know, they're busy. They're like,
Yeah, of course, they got a store, a business to run.
yeah, and they're,
And that to them, it's not that critical.
well, and it's a big store, so they've got they're putting out fires all day long, you know?
All right, there you go.
So I get it. Hey, they wanna pay me to do that.
Yeah, that's what's no problem for you.
Yeah,
You just
I don't get paid based on how successful I
No.
am.
Let me check my contract.
Yeah.
No, I get
And
paid
plus,
anyway.
like, I can see there's a whole lot of work orders have to be made,
Yeah.
and so I'll take care of that later, you know, but right now I wanna get showered, dressed, and all.
I heard you moving around in here, and I thought it was Alfie. I'm looking for Alfie. Where's Alfie?
Well, Alfie is, I'll bet you anything, Alfie won't come by until after she completes her
Probably not.
So first is at 1:30.
Yeah, it's already 12 o'clock. All right. Back in here watching the market SPY bouncing up toward the VWAP now. Get a little bit of a bounce. Again, NVIDIA also bouncing up through the VWAP. Still holding NVIDIA. Took some puts on SPY earlier and made some good money on that. Still holding NVIDIA, which I'm underwater on. But I'm obviously holding them. And I did a SOFI. I did a SOFI weekly ATM. So now I have 2 weekly ATMs on. I have a weekly ATM on Schwab, which I may or may not close this week. I don't know. We've got really nice profits in Schwab right now. So I'll decide toward the end of the week what I'm going to do with that. SOFI, we're just getting started right now. So hopefully we can run this for 3 to 4 weeks, selling puts each week. We'll see. I should ask MR, see if we get any kind of a bounce in it. A little bit, nothing much. Apple, which gapped up this morning nicely, pulled back. Now it's also trying to get above the pivot point and get above the 8. IBM, if you happen to be an IBM, doing the same thing, gapped up, pulled down, trying to bounce. There's Schwab right here. Just perfect. 95.04. That's a textbook example of how a nice weekly ATM will work if you get the right stock. If we look at Schwab, again, we were in it the first week. We made $75 a contract on it. This past week we made about $80 a contract on it. And if we got this week's, we sold at 183, I think. So we get, if it stays around 95, we can collect about another $150, $160 on it. And we'll take a little loss on the 92.50 puts at this point, but not enough to even come close to impacting the levels that we're up on this thing right now. Because Schwab right now, the puts that we bought, the December 19th puts, we paid $247 for, or $220, so they're down 27 cents. And we're up about $155 on the first 2 weeks, and right now on this week's, we get in for 187. We can buy it back for 126. We're up another $60. So it's about 160, and we're about $220 minus the $20 we're down at on the long puts. We're up about $200 a contract on this Schwab. These are when they work, they're really, really nice. You know, we call them weekly ATMs, and I use ATM because basically we're trying to sell close to at the money puts when we take the trade. But I kind of think that ATM kind of stands for automatic teller machine, because when these work, they're really nice money makers, and they're fairly easy to manage if you get the right stock. But there's not an awful lot of stocks right now in the market that are set up to do that. Sophie was a beauty that Maxim found, and that's another really good setup on Sophie, because what you're looking for here is a stock that's got a bullish catalyst, which it did right here, and then it's chopping around, pulled down with the market, and now moved back up again to $30. And you know, if you go back and look at it, see where it had earnings back here, see the big catalyst, see it kind of chopped around, see where it stayed right for about 3, 4, 5 weeks, right, same in that same range. That's what you want. You want to just be able to collect that premium every week on these stocks. Nvidia trying to move up here. Again, if you're in the room, you're a member of the room, I've got a video on weekly ATMs and how they're structured, how they work, why they work, what the criteria is to get into the trade, how much premium you need to collect, all of that. I have videos on weekly ATMs. I have videos on time spreads. I have videos on credit spreads, debit spreads, all of the indicators on the SPY Super System, how we use them. I get about 30 different videos out there on different aspects of the trading that we do. And you see, how am I liking the SPY here? Well, I mean, I like the SPY bouncing here. Again, obviously, from a 5-minute standpoint, we got to see if it gets through this VWAP. I mean, this is typically going to be resistance on this move up on the SPY. On the daily chart, if you look at the daily chart on the SPY, this is where we're at. This is pretty critical level for the daily on the SPY. Big pull down here Friday. That's not the SPY. That's SPY. There it is. Okay, so there's big pull down Friday with a hammer right here above the 50-day moving average. Bounced right off through the 50, gapped up this morning. Want to hold this 8 and the 15 right here. Now we have 678.19 as resistance, and then 682.87. So that's where you want to see the SPY get through on the daily chart. To be bullish on the SPY, you want it to get through that level right there and stay above there. But you basically want it to stay above the 8 and the 15 today. Notice that the 8 is coming up. The 15 is coming up, but the 8 is staying above the 15 right now, which means the trend is still bullish. Right? So I like the SPY, but we gotta watch the price action on it. This VWAP's likely going to be resistance. Nvidia also got through the VWAP, but it's starting to pull down a little bit as well. Carson, Sophie's already running, and the spread is now 43 to 46. So wait for a pullback. Let me see what the premiums are on the thing. It was a pretty fast move from that. Yeah, I'd put an order in there to put it on for 40 cents. See if you can get filled at 40 cents, Carson. took 6 cents off the SPY Super System trade from the 15 EMA to the VWAP. Good job, Maxim. Very nice. Yep, very nice. Took it right here. Oh, 60 cents. Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. SPY Pop. Thank you, Terry. Yep. How come the SoFi weekly ATM wasn't an alert? Yeah, the problem with sending the alerts out, if you look at the stuff that we do in Schwab here, it's really hard to alert on those kind of things on them. I mean, I've done it before, but there's a lot of management that comes into place each week, and I get a million questions on those things. So I'm kind of just sticking in the room for the weekly ATMs right now. At some point I may start sending those out again. If this is a pretty nice weekly ATM, and I may do it later on today if the price goes back down again. Where are the videos and the ATMs? Where do I find them to review? Yeah, if you have access, Bob, you should have access. If you remember, you should have access to my training videos. I have a whole bunch of them. Can I show the Schwab trade again? You're talking about the chart on that, Dan? Is that what you're talking about, or you want to see the Schwab trade up here? Here's the Schwab trade up here, if that's what you mean. We started off by selling the October 31st 95 puts and buying the December 19th 92.50 puts for $1.17. We bought back the October 95 puts and sold the November 7th 95 puts for $1 credit. We ended up with about a $75 profit that week on that. Then we just recently, Friday, bought back the $95 puts and sold the November $95 puts. Again, the November 7th sold the November 14th for $1.11 credit. In other words, we rolled them out. So we get $1.11 credit. We collected about $1.85, but we had to pay some money, of course, to buy back last week's 95s. But anyway, we're up about $160 a contract on those right now, plus what we got this week so far. Now the chart on Schwab, if you want to see the chart on Schwab, if that's what you were asking about, Dan, this is what the daily chart on Schwab looks like. Again, this is what a weekly ATM setup looks like. His earnings, right? Catalyst, see the big volume, big catalyst, bullish catalyst, stocks just chop, 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 chop. This is what you want to see. You go back and look at what it did the previous earnings. See, big catalyst, chop, 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 starts to drift up, drift down, stays right in a specific range. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see a big move up, big move down. You don't want a lot of gaps. And Sophie meets those criteria. I looked this weekend for some more, and I couldn't find very many, to tell you the truth. SPY pulled back down below the VWAP. NVIDIA is holding up better than SPY right now. Hey Bob, I put a link to that weekly ATM video in the question box for you. You can just copy and paste that and click to it. But you need to, if you want to see them all, to get them, you need to call Rory, and he'll get you the link to all of them. Again, it's for members who are paid membership for folks. For the videos, they typically don't give them out to trials. So, but there's the video right there for the weekly ATM. About 12:16. Maxim BK has relative strength. Yep. Bank of New York Mellon. Nice move in this thing today. Market's really pretty choppy here. It's pretty fairly flat. The market in terms is fairly flat. Nvidia's holding up pretty nicely actually. SPY got to the VWAP and failed. Not unusual. See if we can get another attempt at it here off the 8 exponential moving average. Notice the 8 has moved up through the 15. The 8, when it crosses through the 15 like this, that is a bullish reversal in the market, in that stock generally. But you'd have the problem, you have the VWAP right there. So now we just kind of watch it and see if it holds up and if we break through it again. Dan, yeah, sure. Hold on, Dan. There you go. I'll put it in a chat box in case anybody wants it. This is on the weekly ATM. I did this 2 years ago or something like that. Okay, so it's in the chat box as well. They're great strategies. The thing is, you can't go crazy on these things and just start grabbing any kind of stock to make money on it, because they can go against you, and then they can become a management problem and trying to manage them. I mean, you can manage them fine. I mean, they're good because you've got a longer term short that you've got on the trade, a longer term short put. So if it goes against you, you can take a loss on the put that you sold, and ride the put that you bought, write it down. But if it's just chopping around sometimes, that's really more what you want. But you just can't go willy-nilly into these things. You just start buying a bunch of them because you got to manage them, each one of those things. SPY trying to bounce here again. Again, I'm still in Nvidia. I'm watching it trying to bounce. Apple pulled back this morning. It's trying to bounce a little bit right now. IBB had a gap up, pull back. Still up about 0.5%. Sedge 36.35 put credit spread for 25 cents. November 28th. What are my thoughts on Sedge? Sedge, nice little solar stock here. It's a little extended. The 8's about 39.20. The stock's at 45. The ATR is about 3. It's too extended. One of the things and the put credit spread could work on it. You're talking about doing a 36.35. Yeah, that's going to be way too close, I think. Oh no, 36.35. That's not bad. Now here it is. Right, so you're talking about doing a 36.35. So 36 is right down here. So I assume you're leaning on the 50-day moving average to do a 36.35, and that's probably okay. Frankly, I would probably wait for this thing to pull back more toward the 8. You're going to get a lot more premium if you do that, because this is likely to pull back at least down to 40 or something like that, which you're still going to be fine on. But the thing is, you're not going to make as much on it right away. But I think it's okay. I mean, I think it's okay. I prefer them a little bit closer to one of the support levels, but again, I'm not going to criticize the trade because it's a good premium and you're a long way away using the 50-day moving average. 25 cents for 36.35 is pretty good. Pretty high volatility actually to get, because you're basically, that's 33% profit if that works. 33% profit. on solar stocks. Solar stocks, can be fairly volatile. But Sedge has been a good one. It's been going up quite steadily. I think if it pulls back a little bit, you might be able to actually get 30 cents for the thing. But I'm surprised the premiums are so high on it. Applied volatility is about 105 on this thing. Pretty high. 81 by $1.35 is the 37 puts. So if you're selling the 37 and buying the 36, it's showing right now 16 cents. Which is not enough for a 37, 36. If you can get 25 cents, that's pretty good. But the spread is really wide on this thing, 81 by $1.35. So it's probably changed since you looked at it. But I mean, if you can get 25 cents for it, that's pretty good. SPY approaching the VWAP again. NVIDIA also staying above the VWAP.
He's been in his crate the whole time.
He has some nerve.
What's it?
I turned it off.
Hey Google, what's the temperature in James Island?
In James Island, it's currently 55 degrees.
Plenty chilly for me.
Hey Google,
Because the wind's
what's the
blowing.
low tonight in James Island?
The low temperature in Charleston tonight will be 34 degrees.
Hmm.
Hey Google, what's the low temperature in Somerville, South Carolina tonight?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Hey Google, what's the low temperature in Somerville, South Carolina tonight?
Charleston today, you can expect a low of 33 degrees.
They said Charleston again.
Oh. Hey Google, what's the temperature tonight in Somerville?
Tonight in Charleston, expect a
Not
high of 38
Charleston,
and a low
no.
of 33.
They don't have a Somerville
Oh,
one.
okay.
Not Charleston. No, you talked to her.
Hey Google, what's the temperature in North Charleston tonight?
Tonight in North Charleston, expect a high of 46 and a low of 31.
Yeah, so they're going to be below.
What's going on? My wife's arguing with Google. Nothing wrong here.
Nope.
What's that truck up there?
That's for Charlie.
Oh, Charlie? Oh, you stripped again.
Oh, no, that's the stuff I gave her. She agreed when she got Nice and warm in that room.
Yeah, sun is nice.
Here you go. Here you go, Schmudlick.
Right under the blue pillow. You just slid off, didn't you?
Here's
Just slid off.
here's a piece of Alfie to remember.
He's got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. I'm getting ready for lunch pretty soon. All right. All right. Again, just kind of watching the market here. It's NVIDIA. I'm in NVIDIA, so I got it up there. But SPY, trying to get to the VWAP, hasn't quite get through it. Pop through it, pull back again. Pop through it, pull back again. And his Tesla also coming down. Looking at Apple, just moving sideways. And again, I'm in Sophie. I would put an order in. If you haven't got filled, I'd put an order in for around $40 contract. I don't think you need to pay more than that for it.
Yeah.
This is SPY coming back up through the VWAP again. NVIDIA also trying to move up. About 12:31 here. See if we have any additional questions. I'm not taking a lot of trades here. I took the SPY and took profits in that. I took NVIDIA. I'm still holding that. And I took Sophie weekly ATM based off of Maxim spotted that one. I think that's a really nice one. Other than that, just watching the market here right now. There goes the SPY back up through the VWAP again. Pretty encouraging move in the SPY here. Market internals moving up now. This is probably the best move up we've had in the market internals today. IBB starting to move up nicely as well. Apple kind of sluggish. I mean, it's green, but it's kind of sluggish. And again, I'm in NVIDIA, waiting to see if I can get a few dollar bounce in NVIDIA here. High on NVIDIA today, 197.67. So about another $1.50 to the upside on NVIDIA would be a high of the day. I'm looking for it to continue to run. We'll see if it does or not. SPY going up here. Pretty decent trade for the SPY as well for a long here. Again, you get your VWAP right there. If it falls below there, you can get out. You got the 8 supporting it here. You got a pop out of the box symbol right there on the SPY. Decent SPY long right here. Number 678.19 is the resistance on the SPY. 678.19. So not too far from here. It's on the daily chart, so that would be something you want to keep an eye on again to see if it gets through that 678.19. It's likely to continue on up. But again, I took it right here at right off the VWAP, so the VWAP is my stop, and I'll be watching it if it gets up toward the 678.19. I mean. Kind of chopping around. Again, you want to see the SPY stay above the VWAP here. And the 678.19 is a resistance, horizontal resistance level on it. Michael, thoughts on GLW after the pullback? Yeah, I talked about GLW today a couple times. I like it. I like the pullback in the bounce. I'm not as confident in it as I was when we took it the last couple of times. Just because the GLW has, this was a beautiful pattern in GLW, just followed the 8 smoothly. Then we're starting to get a bunch of chop in here. Earnings, and then a nice move up, and then a pullback, and then a move up, and then a pullback on Friday. But I like it long here. I mean, I taking a long here, I wouldn't have any problem taking a long here on GLW. I like it. Again, it's just not as smooth as it was before, but still a nice move. There's the SPY moving up. Hey Bob, you took the NVIDIA trade, but waited until just before noon. Is there a general theory the market volumes drop off at noon due to the European market going home? Yeah, I don't, it's lunchtime in the US as well. So typically the volume does drop off, but it hasn't really impacted NVIDIA very much right now. The volume's holding up pretty good. I don't really trade off of anything like that. I'm just trading off on the price action on the stock. But this is a pretty nice move in NVIDIA today, and I'm expecting it to keep going. I don't know. SPY has just popped up here. I'm getting pretty close to taking profits in the SPY because I'm going to get lunch here in a minute. But SPY is, I get in at 229, no 227. It's trading at 235 right now, 236. If I get to 247, I'm going to take it off because that's pretty close, by the way, to the horizontal resistance level is 678.19. It's 678.10 right now. So I set a sell order in there at 247, which I estimated would be approximately where the stock would be at 678.18. Okay, I just got filled on it. I'm out of the SPY. It's went through the 678.18, 19. It may keep on going, but I just took it off. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I mean, $20 a contract on that, so that's 60. That's $80 a contract. I'm up on the SPY Super System trades today, or just off the SPY. So I'm very happy with that. There's NVIDIA right here, still drifting up. I don't, Bob, I don't read an awful lot into some of those things as far as volumes dropping off based on lunchtime and all that kind of stuff. I'm trading mostly off the individual stocks or off the SPY with what they're doing with price action, and I don't think whether the European market's in or out. I don't think it really makes a big difference. I think the trading continues. You do get obviously you get some volume drop off at lunchtime, but I mean I'm looking at the trades here on the volume here on the SPY, and they're not varying much at all right now, from one 5-minute candle to the next. Which option strike did I take? Sacklin, I took the, if I can tell you, let me look. I don't remember anymore. It was in the money. I took these 676s. The 676s. I get in for 227, out for 247. They're at 260 right now. Earlier I traded the 678s. Get in at 203, out at 263. So again, I'm up $80 a contract on the SPY trades right now. SPY's still moving up though. So is NVIDIA. SPY's still going. You see doji sandwich on the M5. I don't trade doji sandwiches on the 5-minute chart. I just trade them on the daily chart. I don't know that they're very effective. I've never really quantified it very much because you get a lot of doji type sandwiches, doji setups on the 5-minute. The daily is much more usable, but I don't trade them on the SPY. I don't trade doji sandwiches on the SPY. On a 5 or any 5-minute chart for that matter. I mean, in theory, that's a doji sandwich, but you're right at the VWAP here. I can eat lunch here in about probably about 10 minutes. SPY continues up here. Ari's pointing out the conferences. We talk about the conferences and the biotechs. The conferences are usually net positive for the stocks it covers. Past week was obesity and the American Heart Association. That's why these stocks are very powerful. Doctors don't usually like to present bad results at a conference, I imagine. Nvidia with a nice little pop. SPY with a nice little pop. Could have hung on to the SPY a little longer, but I have Nvidia going with me, so I'm happy with that. I took the profits in the SPY already, so could have made a lot more on it. Exactly, you weren't sure which one to pick as far as the SPY was concerned. You took the 680. Yeah, but you took an out of the money call, all right, and you don't want to be taken out of the money calls unless it's late in the day or you're looking for the stock to move quickly and you're just below the strike. But you're at 680, you're out of the money, which means if the SPY moves sideways, you're going to start losing premium in your options very, very quickly. Please don't take out of the money calls or out of the money puts for a trade like that. Been through some of the GLW churn, but hanging on to it. Yeah, I don't blame you, Michael. It's still a good setup. You selected a put by accident. Good thing it was a paper trade. Yeah, you clicked on the wrong side of the option chain. You find that you're making a few mistakes on entering trades when under pressure. Very easy to do, Sacklin. Very easy to do. You get, I mean, I've done it. Every trader's done it. You're in a rush to try to get into a trade, and you click the wrong thing. I mean, I've taken way too many contracts. I've taken puts instead of calls. I mean, I've done all of that. It's very disconcerting sometimes when you get into a trade like Tesla, and you want to take 10 calls, and you take 100 by mistake. It can be pretty dramatic. SPY holding up pretty good. Nvidia holding up pretty nicely now. SPY still moving up. Next resistance on the SPY, 682.87. 682.87, about $4 higher. 678.19 is the support on it right now. Nvidia continuing to move. Hey, betting a smile over there in YouTube. Good morning. Newbie? Okay, did I hear you took SPY trade today? Yeah, twice? One puts, one calls? If so, I don't see them posted in the same area where posted the Sophie trade. Please advise. Listen, when I'm taking SPY super system trades, which are very quick trades off a 5-minute chart, in other words, I took the SPY. Let's show the SPY here. I took it this morning for a short, and I took it this afternoon for a long here. I don't have time to post them. They're way too quick. I point them out if I'm taking them, but I have a methodology for this that I've got a video on how to do SPY super system trades on stocks or the indexes, the SPY, the Qs, the IWM, the futures, or any individual stocks that we use using our SPY super system software right here. So that's where I take it. I would not post anything like that out here. I don't post anything that's that's a quick trade like that, because by the time I get in here, put the trade on, and enter it, the trade could be over. I mean, or it could have moved up 20 cents, 30 cents. So I can't do that, and I certainly can't alert on them. So I don't post SPY super system trades, but I identify them and I see them. I can't trade them all, and a lot of folks in the room trade a lot more than I do because they're looking for them specifically, but they can't be posted. I mean, I can tell you when I take it and why I took it. Notice the SPY moving up through the VWAP right here. This was an entry right here. As it comes through the 8, through the VWAP, the current time frame momentum is green, which means the institutions are in there buying. That's the enter to the trade right there. But I obviously I can't call them out, or I can't post them. They're too quick. This was a short I took today. Again, notice how it's breaking down below the 8 exponential moving average, the white line, the 15, the VWAP, the pink line, with a pop out of the box symbol to the downside, and the institution selling. Yellow and red is selling. Took that for a $60 a contract profit on that. But that's the explanation. And you'll never see those posted. I can't do them. They're too quick. I don't have time to do them. If I'm taking the trade, there's no way I can go in there and post them, because I'm usually out of the trade before I can get them posted. Okay? All right, so all I've done today is taken Sophie. I'm in NVIDIA for an intraday trade. I didn't post it, but it's a trade I took. And I called it out, but I didn't post it in here, I don't think, no. Because it's intraday trade. I may take this as a swing trade later on, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm liking GLW for a potential swing here, Google for a potential swing here. There's quite a few of them, but I'm kind of watching to see what the market does here as it moves back up. And there's been some decent short setups, but it's really hard to take them today because you're trading against a really strong market right now. Here's your daily chart on the SPY, so you can see what we're talking about. Again, big gap down on Friday, and then move right up through the 50 exponential, the 50 simple moving average right there, with a big hammer bar. This is a hammer on the low. That's indicative of a likely to move to the upside, which of course we got this morning. A lot of it based on the fact that the government's going to be reopening again. There was a lot of pessimism about that. And you can see here we are with the SPY with 678.19 up to 682.87 is the next level on the SPY. Getting ready for lunch here. Getting hungry, so I'm going to take some lunch. Again, I'll shut down the YouTube feed. I appreciate everybody from YouTube being here today. Thank you so much for showing up and watching the room. Again, you can join the room if you go to rightlinetrading.com as a member. Multiple different subscriptions you can get. You can get the alert service as well, or you can buy the software. The software is this is a no-brainer purchase for anybody who really wants to trade. As far as I'm concerned, you should really own this if you have access to the NVIDIA the Thinkorswim trading platform. It also runs on NVIDIA, but I use it on Thinkorswim, and it's really an excellent tool to improve your trading. All right, so listen, thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. I'll be back again tomorrow about 11:30 in the morning. You have a great